But I do know that there hypothetically could be someone watching this at some point, if this goes out there, that maybe they will take their last breath sooner than they had hoped. It would be that to enjoy every minute of life until that happens. New grill, and getting used to it. We're in a VRBO in Sebring, Florida. On Saturday, I'm going to have my first race in the Ferrari Challenge Series. About a year ago, I was looking at, I turned 40 this year, and, some, not missed opportunities, but some things that I really wanted to do that kind of passed me up. But I'm good with, other positive things happen, my business, my family, my 2 kids. But there are some things you say, are sort of left unfinished. Like I always wanted to get pretty far with ice hockey. That didn't happen, but I was okay with that. But I never really, after that, had anything super competitive that, I could kind of take a challenge. So,
dude, I'll tell you what, it goes one or two ways. In my opinion, it's either a cluster and there's yellows everywhere, or it's a sprint race, no yellows, green flag all the way to the end.
I started whispering this about a year or two ago to friends that race. Every single one of them, no one even mentioned, oh, we'll do Ferrari Challenge. And I kind of like that everyone told me, oh, if you want to do something like that, I mean, you'd have to be, we're talking, you're like 2, 3, 4 years out. And it's like, all right, sure. And in the back of my brain, it wasn't that they doubted me. I think they seriously were looking out for my best interest. I just don't think they knew me at my core. If someone says it's 3 years out, that's 3 months to me.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, there are people, so this is sort of amateur racing, and these guys are dealing with cars that are really tricky to drive, right? So, like, when you're racing side by side, it's not easy. So there's a lot of crashes, there's a lot of, yellows, there's a lot of people.
How do you think that's going to affect? Like, it goes yellow, and then how much time do you think that takes off? Oh, let me just scratch it.
Good amount of time. And depends on how big the wreck is.
So the reality of it is I've only been in this car for 4 months. And not even a lot of days on the track. I just learned the track on Wednesday, so today's Thursday. So yesterday it rained for most of the day, so I got 1 lap. Then we took the middle of the day off, and then I got about 7 laps at the end. And I started to feel the track, but that's the only time I was ever on the track. And then today we had some decent laps, decent amount of laps. But it's only day 2 realistically at this track. Without getting overly emotional, I never knew if I would turn 40. The reality of it is at 19, I got sick with cancer, a very curable one, clearly. Aggressive at the time because it was misdiagnosed for so long. I got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. And at the time, treatments were way vastly different 20 years ago. They knew they could treat it 100%, great statistics, but mine had already metastasized. And there was that period, that blip where they said, we have to face facts. If what we do doesn't work, you might not make Christmas. It sort of fueled everything that I've ever done ever since then, because, someone telling you that at 19 years old, when you never really had your first real girlfriend, you had girlfriends, but nothing crazy. You never really experienced life to any really capacity at that point. You're in school, however many hours a day. I played sports, I did great with that, but it's not what really drove me. I think it is the fact of slowly having more confidence that I could do more with the car. So, but not in a dumb way. Not let's do more with the car and then put it into a wall, because that just doesn't make sense for anyone. One, I don't have the budget for that. That would end my race weekend. There's no backup car like some of the other competitors, or a lot of the other competitors. So that would just kind of fuck up the dream. But there's a line between being conservative, knowing that, and came the race, So, I want to get at least close to that, you came to the race to be competitive, and that's slowly becoming more confident in the car.
Can already tell you that's your best 3 and 4.
Can you just tell me how Joe is doing, and is he an anomaly in some way? And you don't have to, as you said, blow smoke up his ass, but like, what is different about him?
I'm not gonna say Joe's like a savant, but I will say I've dealt with people like Joe before where they have natural ability and an understanding how to drive a really difficult car. And I'm doing a lot of like holding Joe back because I don't want him to get into trouble. The faster you go, the more risky it is, the more fine-tuned you have to be with your movements. He's made 0 mistakes. We're way ahead of schedule. I'm trying not to blow up his head right now. But no, Joe's really fast. And before I started working with Joe, I actually spoke to a couple coaches that worked with him at Corsa Pilota. I did my homework on him. I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, no, the guy's a missile. If you're guided the right way and you build a good foundation, yeah.
You talked to the Italians?
I did. Spoke to Balzan first, but
Yeah.
no, all very good things. So
Cool.
yeah,
Excited for tomorrow.
it'll be good.